Welcome to the feast, where the focus is fostering evaluation, analysis, and synthesis through technology. Today, we're going to focus on expanding vocabulary in context. And the reason why I'm focusing on this is because, as an English teacher, literacy coach, and mentor for over 2 decades, it was clear that students struggled with understanding content based on the fact that they didn't understand the meaning of specific words, especially grade level words. And so I integrated a way in which I could support students with being able to access that particular vocabulary. My name is Nasira Waters, and I've worked in the education system for over 2 decades as an English teacher, literacy coach, and mentor. So, as I stated, we're going to focus on expanding vocabulary in context, and in order to do so, we need to look at reading. And when I introduce this reading goal document to students, I introduce all the components, starting with students creating a SMART goal. A SMART goal meaning that students need to be specific, SMART as an acronym. The goal needs to be measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, and we'll get into that. The next part is that students will write the specific pages that they've read on any given day, Monday through Thursday. So if they read pages 1 through 5, then they would write 1 through 5, let's say on Monday, for instance, and so on and so forth. And then they have a vocabulary component which helps them to apply the meaning of the word based on their real life experiences, and we'll go back to that. And then they, of course, have to list the books that they've read. Some students read faster than others, so they may read more than one book, but completing the assignment, this document, they can only use one book to do that. And the last portion, and excuse, I don't know, I saved this document and for some reason the lines moved over to this part, moved over to the next line. But then they answer a few questions, and we'll get back to that soon. So when I introduce creating a goal, a SMART goal, students will have a goal of reading a specific number of pages every Monday through Thursday. And that portion is just for September. After September, the goal has to focus on a particular skill that students are having challenges with. So it might be making inferences, it may be analyzing, it may be theme or main idea, but after September, the goal is to focus on a reading skill, and we get into that at that time. And so let's say a student says, I'm going to read 20 pages every Monday through Thursday for the month of September, or even maybe part of October, but I really like to focus on just the month of September, even though it's not a full month. And that goal to explain how will you measure your progress, students will complete the sentence, I will measure my progress by writing down the pages that I start with and end with. Then to make it attainable, to say this goal is realistic for me because I tend to read slow, or you could say this goal is realistic for me because it helps me to monitor my reading and to stay focused on reading Monday through Thursday. Or sometimes I get sidetracked, so it will help me to focus because it will help me to monitor the process. It's relevant. This goal will challenge me because I have a difficult time with managing my time, and this will ensure or support managing my time, knowing that I have to read these pages, specific number of pages, Monday through Thursday. The goal is based on the individual student, of course. And lastly, timely. I will work on this goal between, let's say, the hours of 5 and 6 p.m. That would make it timely. Okay, and then as I stated, simple, they will log the pages they've read Monday through Thursday, each of those days. And then we go into vocabulary. So again, this is a crucial component in order for students to be able to understand the text. Many times students have an understanding that is either incomplete or inaccurate because there are a few words within the chapter or within a few pages or a page that they didn't quite understand. And so students are required to jot down at least 3 words that they don't already know the definition to based on the sentence that they find the word in the book. So they have to pay attention to the meaning of the word within that sentence. Then they write the dictionary's definition. So of course they have to research the definition to the word, and they have to identify the definition that aligns with the meaning within this sentence. And then they have to generate a sentence based on their personal life experiences, okay? So, for example, this word felicitous, this is the word that, let's say, was unfamiliar or is unfamiliar to a student, and then they write this exact sentence that is in the book. In her essay, The Foreigner's Home, Toni Morrison states, these alterations were made more felicitous in the United States by the tax code and, in some cases, worker strikes and organizations. So they have to have the open quote, because they are quoting, and close quote, and then they have to cite what page they found it on. And so the citation needs to be accurate, the quote, open and close quotes need to be accurate, and the period goes after the quote of the page number. And of course they need the parentheses, and we go over that in the classroom. Then we have the definition. There's more than one definition here. And then students generate their personal sentence, a sentence based on their personal experience. Now, it didn't have to occur, like the event didn't have to happen to them. As long as they saw it, heard it, felt it, touched it, their 5 senses were engaged, any of their 5 senses, then it's their real world, their real life experience. So here, my example, as an English teacher, I observed that it was felicitous that I taught the whole child in order to support their academic and social emotional development. And so I also give students an opportunity to think of a word that they have in their book, or go back to their books and model this, and they have an opportunity to share with their peers so that they can practice this before they start to work on it. And we do engage in practice a few days before, so that students have ample opportunity to really get a hold of what they're being required to do. And then students, as I said, they complete this section and the questions. What stood out to you? So they have to answer these questions in complete sentences. And they answer, did they reach their goal? If yes, what drove them toward reaching the goal? If not, what prevented them? And then they have to, as I stated in the very beginning, they have to then create a specific goal for the following month based on a skill or concept that they need to work on. And then they're going to generate a question as it pertains to various elements in the book. It could be based on the character development. They can generate a question. It could be based on setting. It could be based on the theme of the book. So they'll develop a why question and a how question, and we take time to practice that as well. So this is the process for working on expanding vocabulary in context. If this has been useful to you in any way, please like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to sharing with you next week. Bye-bye.